With hundreds of millions of pounds of tobacco harvested every year, tobacco remains one of the most historically important and tightly managed crops in American agriculture. It built early economies, shaped entire regions, and today still supports a multi-billion-dollar global supply chain. But here's the part very few people know. Tobacco is not harvested like most crops, and it doesn't leave the farm ready for use. Instead, it passes through a slow, controlled transformation, from green leaves in the field to carefully cured, graded, and packed material that can be stored, traded, and processed worldwide. This creates a massive hidden industry. Today, we're stepping inside the supergiant tobacco harvest, where millions of leaves are grown, cut, cured, sorted, and transformed into a billion-dollar industry. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our deep dive documentaries. Tobacco might look like just another plant in the field, but it behaves very differently from crops like corn or wheat. Because with tobacco, the final product is not the plant itself. It is the leaf, and that leaf must be handled with extreme care. In the United States, tobacco farming is concentrated in regions like North Carolina, Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee, areas historically known as the Tobacco Belt. Together, these regions produce hundreds of millions of pounds of tobacco annually, with farms ranging from small family operations to large-scale commercial growers. But before any leaf is harvested, months of preparation take place. The process begins in seed beds. Tobacco seeds are extremely small, almost like dust, so they are first grown into seedlings in controlled environments. Once strong enough, they are transplanted into open fields, spaced carefully to allow full leaf development. Over the next 60 to 90 days, the plants grow rapidly. Broad green leaves expand outward, stalks thicken. Farmers manage irrigation, nutrients, and pests carefully because even small damage can reduce leaf quality. Unlike many crops, tobacco is judged not just by yield, but by color, texture, thickness, uniformity, because these factors determine its market value later. When the plant reaches maturity, the harvest begins. And this is where the process becomes highly specialized. The journey begins in the field. In some systems, leaves are harvested one by one. Workers move down the rows, selecting leaves at different levels of the plant as they ripen. Lower leaves mature first, followed by middle and upper leaves. This method can require multiple passes through the same field. In other systems, especially for flue-cured tobacco, entire stalks are cut at once. Machines or workers slice the plant at the base and load it onto racks or trailers. From here, the leaves move immediately to the next stage, curing. And this is where tobacco becomes something completely different. Fresh tobacco leaves are green, moist, and unsuitable for storage or use. Curing removes moisture and transforms the chemical composition of the leaf. Without curing, tobacco has little value. There are several curing methods, but one of the most common in the US is flue curing. Inside curing barns, leaves are hung in rows or placed on racks. The environment is carefully controlled: temperature, humidity, airflow. Over several days, heat is applied gradually. The leaves change color. Green fades to yellow. Yellow deepens into golden brown. Moisture content drops from around 80% to below 20%. Sugars develop. Texture changes. This is not just drying, it is transformation. A typical curing cycle may take 5 to 7 days depending on conditions, and a single barn can hold thousands of pounds of tobacco at once. Across a growing region, hundreds or even thousands of barns may operate simultaneously during harvest season. The result is a landscape filled with warm air, controlled heat, and rows of hanging leaves slowly changing color. Once curing is complete, the leaves are removed and prepared for the next phase, grading. And this is where value is determined. Tobacco is not sold as a uniform product. It is sorted into grades based on quality. Workers examine leaves for color consistency, size, elasticity, texture, damage. Leaves are grouped accordingly. Higher grades command higher prices. Lower grades move into different markets. After grading, tobacco is bundled and packed. In modern systems, this often means compressed bales weighing hundreds of pounds each. These bales are easier to transport, store, and sell. From there, the tobacco enters commercial channels. Some is sold through contract systems directly to manufacturers. Some may pass through auction markets. Some is exported. The United States remains one of the major exporters of tobacco, supplying global markets with specific leaf types known for consistent quality. But the process doesn't end at the farm. Once purchased, tobacco enters industrial processing. Here, large facilities further condition, cut, blend, and prepare the leaf for final products. Leaves are rehydrated, softened, and processed using controlled systems. Different grades and origins are blended to achieve consistent characteristics, because consistency is critical in large-scale production. And this brings us to one of the most important aspects of the entire industry: standardization. What begins as a natural, variable crop must be turned into a predictable raw material. That requires careful farming, precise curing, detailed grading, controlled processing. Without these steps, large-scale manufacturing would not be possible. Technology is now changing parts of this process. Mechanical harvesters are being introduced in some regions. Automated curing systems monitor temperature and humidity in real time. Data systems track leaf origin, grade, and movement through the supply chain. But even with modern tools, tobacco remains one of the most labor-sensitive crops in agriculture, because every leaf matters, and small differences can affect value. The economics are significant. Despite declining domestic consumption, tobacco still supports a billion-dollar industry in the United States through farming, processing, and export. For many growers, it remains a high-value crop compared to alternatives. But the industry is also changing. Health regulations, market shifts, alternative nicotine products, all of these are reshaping demand. Some farmers have reduced production, others have transitioned to different crops. Yet the system continues, because global demand still exists, and the supply chain remains highly organized. And perhaps that is what makes this industry so fascinating. Tobacco looks simple: a leaf, dry it, use it. But in reality, it is a carefully controlled agricultural and industrial process that transforms fragile green plants into standardized global commodities. From seed beds to fields, from harvest to curing barns, from grading floors to export markets, the journey is far more complex than most people imagine. It is agriculture, it is chemistry, it is processing, it is logistics, and it happens every single season. Inside the supergiant tobacco harvest, millions of leaves are not just grown, they are carefully transformed into one of the most controlled and valuable agricultural products in the world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most historic industries, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next exploration into the systems powering modern life. Thanks for watching. Every year, the world produces more than 25 million tons of cotton, and the United States alone contributes millions of tons to that total. But here's the part most people never realize. Cotton is not just about fabric. Behind every t-shirt, towel, and pair of jeans lies a massive industrial ecosystem where every part of the cotton plant is used. Fiber becomes clothing, seeds become oil and animal feed, and even the leftover stalks and waste are transformed into energy and materials. Nothing is wasted. Today, we're stepping inside the supergiant cotton industry, where one of the world's oldest crops powers a modern, multi-billion-dollar system that turns fields of white fiber into fabric, food, fuel, and industrial materials. Cotton has been part of human civilization for thousands of years. Archaeological evidence shows that cotton was used as a textile fiber as early as 5,000 years ago in regions like India and Peru. Over time, cotton spread across the globe, becoming one of the most important crops in human history. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the invention of the cotton gin revolutionized production, making it possible to separate cotton fibers from seeds at an industrial scale. This innovation transformed cotton into the backbone of the global textile industry. Today, cotton farming spans vast regions across the United States, particularly in states like Texas, Georgia, Mississippi, and California. These farms stretch across thousands of acres, creating landscapes that, during harvest season, appear covered in snow-like white fields. The journey of cotton begins in these fields. Cotton plants grow for several months before producing fluffy white bolls that contain both fiber and seeds. When the crop is ready, massive machines known as cotton pickers move across the fields. These machines are engineering marvels capable of harvesting cotton at incredible speeds. Modern cotton pickers do more than just collect fiber. As they move through the field, they pull cotton from the plants and immediately compress it into large modules. Some of the newest machines even wrap these modules in protective plastic as they are formed, creating massive cylindrical bundles weighing 2 to 3 tons each. From the field, these cotton modules are transported to one of the most important facilities in the entire industry, the cotton gin. Inside the cotton gin, raw cotton undergoes its first major transformation. The goal here is to separate the soft fibers from the seeds. The process begins with powerful dryers that remove excess moisture from the harvested cotton. This ensures that the fibers can be processed efficiently without damage. Next, the cotton passes through cleaning machines that remove leaves, dirt, and other field debris. Once cleaned, it enters the gin stands, the heart of the operation. Gin stands use rotating saws and fine metal ribs to pull the cotton fibers through narrow slots. The fibers pass through, but the seeds are too large and are left behind. This separation process happens at incredible speed, with modern gins processing dozens of tons of cotton per hour. At the end of this stage, the cotton has been divided into 2 primary streams: lint, the fiber, and cottonseed. The lint continues its journey toward becoming fabric. It is compressed into large rectangular bales, each weighing around 500 pounds, wrapped, labeled, and shipped to textile mills around the world. But the seeds, often overlooked, are just as valuable. Cottonseed enters an entirely different industrial chain. First, the seeds are cleaned and separated into components. The outer hull is removed, leaving behind the kernel inside. This kernel contains oil and protein, making it extremely useful. Through mechanical pressing and solvent extraction, the seeds are processed into cottonseed oil, which is widely used in cooking, processed foods, and even cosmetics. The remaining material becomes cottonseed meal, a high-protein feed used for cattle and other livestock. Even the hulls are not wasted. They are used as fiber supplements in animal feed or as raw material in agricultural applications. Back on the fiber side, the cotton bales arrive at textile mills where another transformation begins. The tightly packed fibers are opened, cleaned again, and aligned into long strands. These strands are then spun into yarn using high-speed spinning machines. From yarn, the process continues into weaving or knitting, where fabrics are formed. These fabrics are then dyed, treated, and finished before being turned into clothing, bedding, and countless other products. But even at this stage, the story of cotton doesn't end. The textile industry generates large amounts of waste, scraps, offcuts, and used garments. Increasingly, this waste is being recycled. Cotton fibers can be shredded and respun into new yarn, or used to create insulation, padding, and industrial materials. This extends the life cycle of cotton far beyond its first use. Meanwhile, back on the farm, the parts of the cotton plant left behind after harvesting, the stalks and leaves, are also put to use. Farmers often shred these residues and return them to the soil as organic matter, improving soil health and reducing the need for synthetic fertilizers. In some cases, the biomass is collected and used as fuel for energy production or processed into bio-based materials. In recent years, researchers have found new ways to use cotton waste. Cellulose extracted from cotton can be turned into biodegradable plastics, specialty papers, and advanced materials used in industries ranging from packaging to medicine. What makes the cotton industry so remarkable is its efficiency. Very little of the plant goes unused. Fiber becomes textiles. Seeds become oil and feed. Waste becomes energy and materials. This multi-layered system transforms a simple agricultural crop into a complex industrial network. The scale of this system is enormous. Globally, cotton supports a market worth hundreds of billions of dollars, employing millions of people across farming, processing, manufacturing, and retail. In the United States alone, cotton production contributes billions to the economy each year. Entire regions depend on the crop, with infrastructure built around harvesting, ginning, transport, and processing. Modern technology continues to push the industry forward. Precision agriculture uses GPS-guided tractors and sensors to optimize planting and harvesting. Automated gins improve efficiency and reduce waste. Textile recycling technologies are expanding the life cycle of cotton products. At the same time, sustainability has become a major focus. Water usage, pesticide management, and soil health are all being carefully monitored and improved. Recycling and reuse are no longer optional. They are essential for the future of the industry. From a distance, cotton may look like a simple crop growing quietly in a field. But behind that soft white fiber lies one of the most sophisticated and interconnected industries in the world. From field to gin, from seed to oil, from fiber to fabric, and from waste to energy, cotton is a perfect example of how modern industry transforms natural resources into essential products while minimizing waste. The next time you wear a cotton shirt or open a package of food cooked in cottonseed oil, you are experiencing the result of a vast system that began in a field and passed through countless machines, workers, and processes. If you enjoyed this journey into the supergiant cotton industry, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next exploration into the incredible systems that shape our everyday lives. Thanks for watching.